Hey YouTube, Facebook, whatnot, this is Blade Junkie, and as you can tell by the title, I have upgraded the Epic 6x6, which started as the Epic 4x4, so it went from the Epic 4x4 to the Epic 6x6, and now to the Epic 8x8, and sure you'd like to see that, so this is just a chassis. I don't actually know if I'm going to build a body for it. I just want to experiment with an 8x8. So, if I were to show that to you, which I will, I would start with the controller, and then, ta-da, not too shabby. So, in order to add the fourth axle, which currently has no suspension aside from, well, it's pretty much all loose, really. There's no suspension yet. It just moves. So, show you that. Medium motor right here for the steering. It's geared 1-to-1 into a worm gear setup, which goes to a 24-tooth gear, and then to a 12-tooth gear, and then to the rack. So yeah, and that makes it just about the same speed, just a tiny bit faster than the first, or I guess now it's the second axle, which makes this here the third axle, and this here the fourth axle. So yeah, you can see it's got a an extension cord in there, which is because it's lengthy. So in order to get it over there, I needed to do something, and that worked nicely, I think. So yeah, it uses the new coupler joint from the Unimog set, I believe is when it was introduced, and it uses tie rods, if you would prefer to call them that, which gives it the ability to bend quite nicely without, you know, anything like, too much movement on the left and right for it. Which gives it really good up and down, as well as pretty reasonable amount of flex in other directions as well. So, as of now, the only standard universal joint is inside of this coupler, because inside of this coupler, it prevents breaking. So that's the only time that I'm ever going to use one of those, is when there is no chance that it's going to break. So, yeah, pretty simple, but no suspension yet as far as springs, shock absorbers and whatnot, but hey, it works nicely right now. So, now it's got this here independent front suspension, dependent secondary axle front suspension, third axle, partially dependent suspension, independent sway, and the fourth axle here, fully independent. 8-wheel drive, 4-wheel steering, dual XL drive, dual medium steering, 1 receiver, 1 standard battery box as of now. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, what else is there? I don't know. I guess I could tell you there are 36 tires in the entire thing. You're thinking, how is it an 8x8 if it has 36 tires? And if you've seen the other videos, I've showed you and told you, and more importantly, the showing part is that there are 7 smaller tires inside of each of the rear standard tires, which prevents slipping on the rims and stuff like that. So yeah. Whew. Yeah, I'm coming down with a cold, as I've said in a few of my videos recently posted, in comparison to this one. So yeah, pretty cool. I've gone back to the standard 8-tooth to 24-tooth gear ratio that I had on there originally. That is on all 8 all 8 axles. Could you imagine if it had 8 axles? That'd be hardcore. I'm never gonna have enough stuff to do that. But anyway, it's got that on all 4 axles. All 8 wheels, all 8 portals, have that deal going on there. Alright. Put that back on there. And put this back on there. There we go. So, awesome. Better. And now, if I back up here, actually, just a moment, please. I would like to get myself a little bit of music playing in the background. You probably can't hear it, but it's Nat Hanshaw from BioShock. Or, well, I found it from BioShock, but it's, Daddy, won't you please come home? Just kind of a nice song, I guess. Anyway. Yep, battery box over here. Put that on. You can see that these have springs. This is the only springs in the entire thing as of now are back here. So, yeah. Kind of crappy, I imagine. But, so yeah. Same controller that I've been using. So, this is the steering. And this is the drive. Yeah. So, yeah. Okay. So, if I turn this to the left, they'll turn left, and you'll notice the front wheels turn a little faster, and therefore they get a tiny bit tighter, which is the idea. So, you know, but in the end, they're the same. They're the same as far as when it's forward and when it's left, and then back to forward. They match, and then right, and then forward, and they still match. Obviously, they should do that. So, you know, that's just cool. I thought that I was able to do that because I haven't worked with those much. So, let's see here. The steering, might I add, is not terribly slow. I'd say it's reasonably quick for something of this size. So yeah, I guess you might be getting bored with just me driving around on a bed, or you might be incredibly happy that for once in my life I'm not talking. Whatever the case, I hope you enjoy the idea of this concept here becoming what it has become. I know I certainly am proud of what it has become. I know I definitely appreciate the fact that LEGO is brilliant in such a way that these kinds of things are possible. Ooh, look at that. Not too shabby. Heave. Yeah, it's trying, but it quite simply doesn't have as much horsepower as it would need to do that, or maybe it's just the surface, or whatever. I don't really know exactly what it is, but, you know, like I said, it's cool that an 8x8 is even possible in LEGO, so, you know, I'm happy that it can get that far. I've actually tested it. I haven't figured out the angle, but it can go up pretty steep, wow, steep, huh? No. Pretty steep angles, so that's pretty cool, in my opinion. Um, you know, so, yeah. So no interference with the wheels at full turning, which I guess I should probably just drive it over to the table and show you that little bit of things. Ooh, just barely missed it too. And there it is. I'm probably not even keeping a good eye on it with the camera, am I? I don't know. Whatever. I don't care. Like I've said in the past, this is not for you guys, really. This is more for me, documenting what I'm able to build, because I've had trouble with building Lego large things lately, you know. I just had to give it a little help there, because I don't want this video to take forever, because it usually does. Oh, look at that, it already has taken about as close to forever as the average person's entertainment can survive. Anyway, like I was saying, no interference at all when steering, which I can show you by doing this. You can see at maximum steering angle they are quite close, but the front is just a little bit tighter. And you can see that the sway bars, or not really the sway bars, they're not the sway bars, they're more the tie rods, I guess is better the word for them, but nothing hits them. Still nothing hits them. Doesn't hit them. Still nothing hits them. So that's pretty cool. And the placement of the wheels is reasonable as well, because if I lift it and twist it, no interference there. Gets a little more interference if I do that, but, you know, I can deal with a little bit of interference. And if I turn the wheels here, show you that there's still no interference as far as that goes. But there's even less interference where that goes, because now the wheels fit nicely into each other, so to speak. So that's cool, I think, that that kind of thing is possible. So, you know, pretty sweet. Pretty awesome stuff there. And, yeah. So that is the Epic 8x8. And, yeah, thanks for watching. Don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe. So, yeah, as I said, thanks for watching. If you made it through the whole thing, I guess this time it wasn't as painful for you probably, but nevertheless, congratulations. This is Blade Junkie, signing off. Thanks for watching. See you later.